Daddy's Fables. Christmas the Snowman Who Dreamed of Skiing. In a small village covered in a blanket of pure white snow, Christmas lights twinkled like tiny stars, and the air smelled of pine and sweet cinnamon. Children in colorful scarves and mittens pulled sleds along the narrow icy streets, their laughter ringing out into the crisp winter sky. And in this village, right near the biggest ski slope, there lived a very special snowman. His name was Christmas, because he had been built on Christmas Eve, under the shimmering glow of 1,000 fairy lights. Unlike ordinary snowmen, Christmas had a heart, made not of ice, but of a warm little spark that wished, hoped, and dreamed. Every day, he would sit at the edge of the slope and watch the skiers. Little children in puffy jackets learned to glide and balance, older kids raced each other down the hill. He watched them fall, get up again, and cheer when they succeeded. Each time someone swooshed past with a bright laugh, Christmas felt something flutter inside his snow chest. If only I could do that, he whispered to himself, just once. At night, when the lamps were turned off and the slopes lay silent under the moonlight, his longing grew stronger than ever. One night, when the village had gone to sleep, Christmas gathered all the courage a snowman could possibly have. He looked across the quiet slope, at the rows of skis neatly stored in the old shed. Tonight, I will try. He shuffled over, his round snow feet leaving a trail of tiny prints. Carefully, he picked a pair of skis that looked just the right size. They were a little old, the paint scratched at the edges, but to Christmas, they were perfect. He placed them on the snow, studying how the humans wore them. His stick arms trembled as he tried to slide his round snow feet into the bindings. Click, one foot locked in, click, the other followed. He tried to lift one leg. The ski felt impossibly heavy. He wobbled. For a moment, he thought he might topple over and break into a dozen little snowballs. But he steadied himself. Just a small step forward, he told himself. He pushed, ever so gently. The skis inched forward, maybe half a meter. He tried again. They slid another few centimeters. Oh, it's harder than I thought, he sighed. But though he was moving slowly, he was moving, and that was something. At the top of the hill, two familiar figures watched, his snow father and snow mother. They had followed him quietly, hearts full of hope. He's trying, his mother whispered. That's all that matters, his father replied. At the bottom of the slope, Christmas stopped. His snow heart was pounding. He'd only traveled a little distance, but his whole body was shaking with excitement and fear. He tried one last push. His skis slid too quickly, and before he could catch his balance. Thump! He fell over in a puff of white powder. He lay still, blinking up at the stars. Then, slowly, he began to laugh. Well, at least I tried, he murmured. Back home, he sat on the soft snow rug while his parents hovered over him, brushing the stray flakes from his round head. Did you hurt yourself? His mother asked. No, but I couldn't go very far, he admitted. It was so scary. I'm not sure I can really do it. Everyone is scared the first time, said his father kindly. I fell so many times when I learned. You did? Oh yes. My head fell off twice, his father chuckled. Christmas looked up, wide-eyed. And you still tried again? Of course. Falling down doesn't mean you can't learn. It just means you're beginning. His mother rested a hand on his snowy shoulder. If you really want to ski, she said softly, you have to be willing to fall, and get back up again. Christmas felt warmth bloom inside him. I do want it, he whispered. The next morning, he returned to the slope just as dawn painted the snow pink and gold. This time, he was determined not to stop after one fall. Step by tiny step, he slid the skis forward. He fell. He got back up. He slid again. He fell, and rose once more. All morning, he practiced. By the time the sun was high, he had fallen more times than he could count. But each time he stood again, the fear felt a little smaller. At the top of the slope, his parents watched, smiling. On the second day, some human children arrived early and saw him practicing. Look, the snowman is trying to ski. They laughed, but when he fell, one little girl clapped. You can do it, Mr. Snowman. Encouraged, Christmas tried again. He fell dozens of times. His arms were dusted with frost. His head nearly tumbled off once. But he kept going. On the third day, he managed to glide 3 whole meters before falling. On the fourth day, he went 5. On the fifth day, he skied 10 meters without falling at all. Every night, he would come home exhausted but happier than ever. "I think I'm starting to understand it," he told his parents. "You are," his father beamed. "You've learned the most important part already." "What's that?" "Not giving up." After many days of practice, he finally decided to try the little beginner's slope. He climbed to the top, skis scraping softly over the snow. "If I fall," he reminded himself, "I'll just get up." He took a deep breath. Then he pushed off. The skis slid forward, faster than he'd ever gone. Wind rushed past his snowy cheeks. For a heartbeat, he felt like he was flying. Halfway down, he wobbled. But he held his balance. When he reached the bottom, he stopped, arms outstretched, heart soaring. Children cheered. His parents came running, hugging him with all their snowy warmth. "I did it," he laughed, breathless. "Yes," his mother said, "and you'll do it again and again." Christmas spent the rest of the winter skiing every day. He fell sometimes. But now, falling didn't scare him anymore. Because each fall was proof he was trying, and each time he got back up, he was stronger. By the time the last snow melted, he had become the little snowman everyone in the village admired, not because he never fell, but because he always rose again. And in his heart, he knew, dreams come true, not when you never fall, but when you never stop getting up. Subscribe to Daddy's Fables channel for creative storytelling. Enjoy classic tales with modern twists and new stories that inspire all ages. Don't miss out. Subscribe today.